We have been listening to opening statements on both sides in the trial of former Brooklyn Center police officer Kim Potter. The veteran officer fatally shot 20-year-old Daunte Wright when she yelled Taser during a traffic stop and pulled the wrong weapon after firing her handgun instead of her taser. Now Potter is charged with first and second degree manslaughter. She has pled not guilty to all charges. Now we're going to welcome our BNC legal chief correspondent Laura Mcneal to help us break down what we've heard so far. Again, both sides, the state and the defense, presenting opening statements in this trial. Laura, what stood out to you so far? Both sides have laid out their opening statements.
It actually was pretty exciting for me. We were finally able to see inside Pandora's box and see what type of defense they were going to put forth in support of an acquittal for Officer Potter. And so essentially, I didn't think of the angle, which I think is very creative, to say that she was trying to save the life of fellow officers, that the car was allegedly still moving at the time. And, you know, it's well established in terms of law enforcement that vehicles can be considered a weapon. And so if the car is continuously moving and she's trying to stop, I believe it was Officer Johnson and Lucky from being harmed, he claims, the defense, that she was justified even to shoot her firearm had she chosen. So I thought that was a nice kind of insight into the defense's stance on how they're going to try to acquit her. I also thought he did a great job humanizing her, talking about how she'd wanted to be a police officer since she was a little girl, seeing an officer teaching her about bicycle safety, describing her as a family woman. So all that is very important because that's the first impression outside of that video the jury's going to get about Officer Potter.
Laura, what did you make of the defense's comments about if Daunte Wright had just stopped? If he had just stopped, he'd still be with us today.
You know, I thought that comment was to be expected. That's their job, to put forth a robust defense and to paint their client, which in this case is former Officer Potter, in a positive light and say, listen, all of this could have been avoided if he had simply complied. And so that's expected from the defense, but it's also expected from the prosecution to say, you know what, at no point in time did Daunte Wright threaten you. At no point in time did we see him swinging a fist or anything or trying to fight in the video footage. We didn't see any firearms. So, you know, the use of force should be proportionate to the threat. And so I think, again, no surprises there, but I can see where they're going with trying to make the argument about this car posing a threat, a deadly threat to those other officers.
And Ms. Potter right now is facing a first-degree manslaughter, also second-degree as well. To convict her of the more serious charge, Laura, what does the state need to prove to the jury?
Well, they have to prove that she was unreasonable in terms of how she used her firearm, and that unreasonable use of her firearm, that reckless use of the firearm, led to the untimely death of Daunte Wright. Now, what's important about the lesser charges, she just has to show that she was just reckless in general. So she doesn't have to make that connection between the firearm as strong for the second-degree manslaughter as for the first degree manslaughter she does for the second degree. So again, that first degree is a much higher standard for them to meet. I think the second degree manslaughter is the best chance for a possible verdict that's a guilty verdict, but again, very early in the litigation process, we'll have to see how the evidence pans out.
And what do the charges suggest?
Well, they suggest that the mistake, albeit a mistake, was an unreasonable mistake, and that she should be held criminally liable. So anytime you charge someone with manslaughter, regardless of what state you're in, the notion behind that is that you were so reckless, so unreasonable, that you unjustly put other people at risk of seriously bodily harm, or in this case, deadly harm. And so that, again, is going to be up to the jury, but that's the premise behind any manslaughter charge, regardless of what state you're in.
All right, we got about a minute left. How important will a use of force expert be in this trial?
I think it'll be really vital to determine whether or not the level of force Potter used was reasonable. But I think what's really going to intrigue us a little bit more is the PhD expert that they're bringing in. They're calling them action errors. And apparently this expert is going to explain how the way that our brain works, sometimes we intend to do one thing, but our actions do another. And so trying to normalize this mistake that Kim Potter made is going to be very important for the jury to show that this is something that happens, as the defense said to medical doctors, to individuals that are police officers, pilots. So again, doesn't mean the jury is going to buy it, but I think it's an interesting approach.
All right, I was told we got a little bit more time, Laura Mcneal, so I'm going to squeeze in one last question as our legal beaver here. What else do we need to look out for in this trial?
I think everything is still going to pin on Kim Potter taking the stand. Whether or not the jury believes her, whether or not they believe that in her mind, what was going on in her mind at the time of the shooting? Was she in fear of harm for her officers, for herself? Did she think that because Daunte Wright had this outstanding warrant that he posed some type of threat into their safety? So again, hearing her on that trial really is going to be crucial, hearing her testimony. And I wish I was sitting in the jury to be able to hear, meaning in that courtroom, to be able to see what those jury members' responses are, how they respond and react to her testimony.
And I meant to call you Legal Eagle.
It's okay, I knew what you meant.
Legal Beaver.
All right, I knew what you meant. You're good.
We needed a laugh there.